Thanks, Paige. We got a battle of top 10 teams here in Boerne, Texas tonight. Now, they are in different classifications as El Campo, the 6th-ranked team in 4A Division I, takes on the also 6th-ranked team in 5A Division II in the Boerne champion Chargers. And while you might be thinking, does the small school really have a chance at that portion? With some starters out for champion, there has never been a greater opportunity for Chad Worrell and his Ricebirds to make an impact here tonight. Now, we'll throw it over to Austin Ivan in Idalou. Austin.
George Strait, right down the street, Coach. Who knew? He's a pretty famous guy, and so is Ashley Pickle. She's all over the place for us, of course, here on Friday Night Football, and, of course, with Dave Campbell's Texas football. So we talk about this matchup, Ashley. These are two really, really good teams. We know exactly what both are bringing to the table. One side also very, very young. Is that not true?
No, you're exactly right, CT. When you look at Boerne champion, they're a pretty veteran squad, but the issue is here they've got 6 different starters out, including Carson Kaiser, the coach's son, who is their lead quarterback, is out, their top running back, top receiver, their center's out. I mean, guys, the list goes on and on and on. Now, a lot of it is due to injury. Coach did tell me that they're really trying to rest those guys up. They start district next week. This was one of those games where they're going to get their younger players in. There's 2 sophomores running quarterback and running back, and so they're saying, you know, he said he credits his coaching staff so far with how they've been able to adapt not to the scheme but to personnel. When you get down to those lower guys, you have to turn around and you have to sit there and say, okay, here's what we're working with. What can we do out of this? So their goal today, just be hard-hitting, really defensive focus for the Chargers.
Ashley, how about Ruben Owens, the running back for El Campo? He seems like he's hard to handle.
He is Mr. Do-It-All, guys. I know you just saw the highlights. He comes off with a pick. He's a dynamic runner. This is a kid I had seen play his freshman year, and I could tell, you know, this guy has something special. He went to camps. He got MVPs. What makes him such a dynamic runner is his agility. It's not necessarily his explosive starts. It's his change of directions. How quick and agile he is really is able to let defenders miss. On top of that, too, the kid can throw the ball and he can catch the ball, which is something that Coach Worrell says is really big. And as you saw in that first 68-yard touchdown, they line Owens up in that wildcat. They're able to get their other running back to do a little jet sweep, and then it's 68 yards to the house. So you never know when he gets the ball in his hands, is he going to take off or is it another wildcat formation? And so he genuinely is Mr. Do-It-All. And I know Coach Worrell, who, when he got the job with El Campo, he didn't really know who Ruben was, but he said he found out really quickly, guys. So quite an impressive showing so far just in the first quarter from Mr. Do-It-All.
We're all finding out really quickly. The good news, everybody already knows who Ashley Pickle is. Ashley, thanks for being with us. 34-0 at the half, and our very own Ashley Pickle is with Ricebirds head coach Chad Worrell.
Coach, you told me earlier this week that your defense, making sure they kept the pace of this game, was going to be key. 3 interceptions later, how do you evaluate their performance?
I couldn't be more proud of them. I mean, everybody really, you know, it's our first complete half of the season. You know, it's clicked for us on all levels. Our defense flying around, giving them, making tackles in open field and putting pressure on the quarterback.
Ruben Owens has been an offensive star so far. How pleased are you with the way he's played, and how long can we anticipate to see him in the second?
You know, Ruben's a playmaker. Y'all seen that. You know, he does what he does, but I'm gonna give props to those linemen and also Stephen Norman, the fullback's doing a heck of a job blocking for him. Ruben, I don't know if y'all caught it there, one play there in the first half, but Ruben switched places with him so he could carry the ball and Ruben blocked. So that's the kind of kid he is.
Absolutely appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
Of course, the Hill Country, which we all love, as we welcome in our very own Ashley Pickle, who is standing by live for us at Boerne ISD Stadium. All right, look, Ash, I'm going to let Coach talk about the man, the myth, the legend here in just a second, but EC has this little quarterback duo working it tonight. These are 2 really good, outstanding players who may not get a lot of attention tonight, but they're really helping this offense roll, correct?
You are so right, CT. Obviously, like you said, we'll get to Ruben Owens. Don't worry, there is plenty of touchdowns to talk about from that guy. But when you look at it, you're thinking, okay, well, he seems to do everything, but there are two quarterbacks back here. And when I asked Coach earlier this week, I said, well, which one's the starter, Coach? And he was like, you know what? He goes, we had named one early on in the year, and then now it's one of those things. He goes, we've started playing both of them, and it's worked. It's been successful for us, and he's Coach Worrell's kind of one of those guys where he's like, man, if it's working, we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick to it. So he's able to say, and he told me earlier this week, he was like, you know, if later on in the season, especially in a district play, one of these guys sits there and they're able to show, I am the undisputed starter of this team, well, then good for them. They'll do it again. Also, another El Campo touchdown. This train just doesn't stop here, man. But they're going to figure it out. But for now, they're rolling with a two-quarterback system, and with Ruben Owens on your side, it sounds like it's going pretty well.
Ashley, we know that Ruben Owens is a great running back, but it seems like other phases of the game, he's really standing out also. Is that true?
Coach, man, you could not be more correct there. So just in the first half alone, Ruben Owens had 13 carries for 229 yards and checks notes, 4 touchdowns, guys. Unbelievable. He put on an absolute offensive clinic, but let's not forget, an interception just for fun. And that's the thing. You look at that stat number and you think, okay, something's got to be going on here, right? The defense is getting interceptions, and then he's turning around and he's big play after big play. And then he goes off, you know, probably hangs out on the sideline a little bit, catches his breath. That could not be more inaccurate. He is on the field consistently, whether it's offense, whether it's defense, whether it's taking direct snaps, whether it's hurtling down the field, or whether it's getting the first interception of the game. He just doesn't stop, and he's so useful. Coach also saying at halftime, he was like, I don't know if y'all realize this, but he handed the ball off to his sophomore running back and then started blocking for him, the lead blocker, the whole way down the field. And that's just the mentality of this kid. It's what can I do to help this team, and anything he can possibly do. Coach, I'm sure you can agree that's the kind of player that you're looking for to have on your team.
No doubt, he's a great player.
Hey, Ashley, you are welcome for the breather tonight, not having to deal with Greg Tepper. Coach and I are here for you anytime you need us. You know what I'm saying? And afterwards, Ashley Pickle caught up with who else? Ruben Owens.
Here with El Campo Jr. running back Ruben Owens. Ruben, to come out here, play a full 4-quarter game like that, and see your team come out with this win, how does it feel right now?
It feels good. We were well prepared during practice this week. We knew they were a good team. We just had to come out and play and show what we were.
The first half, you put on just an offensive clinic out there. What allows you to be so successful when you step on the field?
I'll first give praise out to my line. I work a lot in the off season. Work on my the way I run the ball, my skill, and my levels, so I can do all that to help my team win.
You're not just a leader on the field, you're a leader off the field as well. You know you're going to head in, your next game is a district game. What's the message to your teammates heading into district play?
Let's go win again, boys.
Perfect. Thanks, Ruben.
Yes, ma'am.
Hill Country native Ashley Pickle is on hand for this one in the Jack in the Box Spotlight.
According to the new Rice Birds head coach Chad Worrell, he hadn't seen his team play a full 4-quarter game yet this season. Well, punching up a classification, taking on the number 6th ranked team in 5A Division I in the Boerne champion Chargers, and coming out with a win like this, I think it's fair to say Coach saw his team play that 4-quarter game he had been looking for.
It felt good. You know, I felt like we were gradually getting there. I thought we did a great job defensively tonight, running some different looks and keeping our assignments, not being confused. Offense executed, obviously, and special teams executed. I'm super proud of our kids.
And offensive production, never a problem when you have a punishing workhorse like Ruben Owen in the backfield, going for 18 carries for 324 yards and 4 touchdowns. Guys, he put on a clinic tonight. And why those Rice Birds will celebrate this win for 24 hours, they have their eyes set on the district game against Stafford up next.